A little while ago, I made a list of 6 NFL offseason storylines I'm excited to see play out. They were number 1, where will Tom Brady go next season, if anywhere? Number 2, what happens with Dak Prescott's contract situation in Dallas as the quarterback? Number 3, what will the Titans do with Derrick Henry? Number 4, what will happen with Patrick Mahomes' contract? Number 5, who will the Jaguars quarterback be next season? And number 6, the quarterback movement. Guys like Teddy Bridgewater, Andy Dalton, Phillip Rivers, Marcus Mariota. Where are they going to play or move to next year? If not, is Phillip Rivers going to retire? So I put out those 6 storylines I was excited to follow. And then I said, hey, what storylines are you guys excited about? And I got a lot of responses. It was really, really cool. So I want to share some of the storylines that you guys brought up and you guys pointed out that you were excited about. And there are 11 of them. There were actually 9 I put on the list. There were 9 that you guys said. And then I actually added 2 more to my list because I thought 2 more were really interesting. So let's start with your 9. Number 1 is just the Bills' offseason moves. The Bills went 10-6 last year. They made the playoffs. They have a young quarterback that's great. They have a lot of pieces on their offense that are awesome. And now the Bills have around $90 million to spend in free agency. That's huge. This is a gigantic opportunity for the Buffalo Bills to go from a good playoff team, take a next step forward in chasing a Super Bowl. They have an opportunity here to really upgrade their roster. What are the Bills, in fact, going to do in free agency this offseason? I'm really curious to find out. That'll be fun. I love that suggestion from the fans. Number 2, the Panthers quarterback situation. The question really is, are the Panthers going to keep Cam Newton? He's been hurt a lot. He's got a new coach. He's got a relatively new owner. You got to realize Cam Newton was drafted by the previous owner. So the owner, David Tepper, and the coach, Matt Rule, have no loyalty to Cam Newton at all. So will the Panthers keep Cam Newton, or will they go get someone new? And is Cam Newton even going to be healthy enough to play? He didn't play at all last year, really, other than I think 2 or 3 games. And so is Cam Newton going to be healthy, and will the Panthers even want him to come back? I'm excited to find out what happens with the Panthers quarterback situation. Number 3, what will the Buccaneers do at quarterback? Jameis Winston is a free agent. He led the NFL in passing yards. Woo! That's awesome. Jameis stats. Oh, you know me. I love fantasy football crap. I don't. It's stupid. Jameis Winston had 33 touchdowns. That's awesome. He also had 30 interceptions. The amount that Jameis Winston turns over the ball is disgusting. It's terrible. So the Bucs went 7-9, and the question is, will they keep him and give him a new contract? Are they going to keep Jameis Winston? Because some people say that Jameis Winston and quarterbacks in Bruce Arians' system, period, get better in year 2 rather than year 1. I would also point out that Andrew Luck did great year 1 in Bruce Arians' system. Now, Jameis Winston really struggled, was very inconsistent, but it's an interesting dilemma to follow. Will they move on from Jameis Winston and get a new quarterback, or will they keep him and hope he gets better in year 2? It's a fun dilemma I cannot wait to follow in Tampa Bay. Number 4, a new CBA is coming. What that means is that a new collective bargaining agreement is going to happen between the NFL and the NFL Players Association. The question is, what will change as a result of the new CBA? Are we going to get a 17-game season? I'd be down for that. I don't want an 18-game season, but a 17-game season rather than 16, I'd be down for, as long as players get 2 bye weeks rather than just 1. Because for me as a content creator, it would actually spread out the games a little bit more by 1 week. It's hard. Those weeks when there's not a bye week, there's 16 games going on at once that I need to follow and track. If we could spread that out by 1 more week, just a little bit, thin it out a little bit, it'd be much easier for me to follow as a person covering the NFL. And honestly, I think as a fan, it'd be easier to follow what's going on in the NFL. There was just a tad fewer games every weekend, and they were a little more spread out. Maybe 1 more bye weekend and 17 games. I'd be down for that. I think it'd be interesting, and it worked pretty well. It would ruin stats, but stats are already ruined because it used to be 13 games, so whatever. Number 5, the question is, will Drew Brees retire? I don't think so. This is why this was not on my original list. I saw a post on Instagram today where Drew Brees tagged the Saints. I don't think Drew Brees is going anywhere. That's why we're hearing rumors about where's Teddy Bridgewater going. You have, Taysom Hill coming out saying, I want to be a franchise quarterback, and the Saints might not believe I am. Because to me, I think the writing's on the wall. Drew Brees is coming back. He's not going anywhere. But you guys said, hey, I am curious. Did Drew Brees retire? So let's talk about it. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Number 6, what will the Cardinals do with their running back, David Johnson? They gave David Johnson a gigantic contract. And then they traded for Kenyon Drake, and he was outshined by Kenyon Drake. So it's interesting. Will the Cardinals cut David Johnson or not? We'll find out. What will the Colts do at quarterback? What will the Indianapolis Colts do at quarterback? They have Jacoby Brissett. He's got one more expensive year on his contract. But he is not either the long-term solution. He's also not the short-term solution. Jacoby Brissett is a limited quarterback. And honestly, what the Colts really need is a short-term solution. They don't need to draft a quarterback in the draft to wait for him to develop. The truth is the Colts need a quarterback now. They need a guy who's ready to win a Super Bowl now because their roster is capable. People are saying Phillip Rivers is going to retire. I think Phillip Rivers goes to play for the Colts for $4 million a year before he retires. Phillip Rivers wants to win a Super Bowl. And there is no way, unless the Colts sign Tom Brady, they're going to get Phillip Rivers or somebody. The Colts are not going to go down without a fight. The Colts have a roster capable of winning a Super Bowl. They just don't have a quarterback capable of winning a Super Bowl. So that's what I want to see from the Colts. What change are they going to make at quarterback? Number 8, the question is, will Antonio Brown ever play in the NFL again? He's had all kinds of problems, got arrested, just been a mess, lost his agent. I don't think so, but we'll find out. Will Antonio Brown ever play in the NFL again? Number 9, will the Bears bring in a new quarterback? Is it time for them to at the very least, bring in competition like Marcus Mariota or Andy Dalton or maybe Phillip Rivers to compete with Mitchell Trubisky and make him at least earn the job? That's what I'm curious to see with the Bears. Now, those are the 9 you guys suggested. Great. There are 2 more storylines I want to follow that I'm curious that I should have included in my original list. I added 2. Number 1 is, will the Raiders stick with Derek Carr? There's rumor today that the Raiders are going to offer Tom Brady $60 million for 2 years. So maybe, are the Raiders going to stick with Derek Carr at quarterback or not? One of the things I've seen in you got to understand, film analysis videos take forever to make, especially when you're doing a whole season versus doing one game takes about 7 days to make a video. When you do a whole season, for me, it takes forever to make a film analysis video. One of the preliminary results I've seen from my film analysis of Derek Carr is that he gets skittish around the time of, what would you call it? Since his back injury, he's been afraid of getting hit. He's been a little bit skittish in the pocket. He's thrown the ball away too early. And so maybe the Raiders draft a promising young quarterback, a guy like Jordan Love. Somebody who, Derek Carr's our guy for now, but we can do what the Chiefs did with Alex Smith. We have a quarterback. We're going to draft a really talented guy behind him to wait till he develops. I could totally see that happening. Maybe they do go get a Tom Brady, but I don't know why Tom Brady would go to the Raiders. The Raiders aren't really ready to win a Super Bowl yet. Not as well as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Indianapolis Colts. I don't think Tom Brady goes to the Raiders. But the question is, will the Raiders stick with Derek Carr or not? I actually don't think so. I'm not certain that the Raiders are committed to Derek Carr long-term. They've paid him money. They've been patient, and he just hasn't shown what you need to be the long-term answer at quarterback for the Raiders, and now the Las Vegas Raiders. And now there's one more. The question is, will the Lions draft a quarterback? The Detroit Lions have Matthew Stafford. He's great. Matthew Stafford he's very similar to Carson Palmer, I believe, a guy who's really talented and never quite appreciated enough. He's a quiet guy, doesn't really want the spotlight. Matthew Stafford and Carson Palmer remind me so much of each other. Will Matthew Stafford be the quarterback next year in a Lions uniform or not? I don't know. Will they trade Matthew Stafford? Will they draft a quarterback underneath him to get ready? Matthew Stafford got hurt this year. I don't know. Will Matthew Stafford be the Lions quarterback this next year or not? I don't know. I think they'd be silly to get rid of him. Matthew Stafford, my impression of him is that he's phenomenal. He's underappreciated. He's really talented. He's a victim of a bad organization, much more similar, again, very similar to Carson Palmer. What will the Lions do at quarterback? That's the 11th thing I cannot wait to track and follow in this upcoming NFL offseason.